Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Jay from T&J, and I'm telling you, this is an episode you don't want to miss. We are going up against one of the top guys in this franchise. He's 9-2 on the season. Let's just look at the standings here in the AFC first. Let's look at the AFC. Looks like we clinched a playoff spot, 11-0. We're in pretty good position here. The Browns are second, Dolphins are third, and that's who we're going up against, man. And this is actually a big game because if I lose this game, I'm only one game back from getting into second playoff spot, so in the AFC. So this is a big game for this spot here as well because these two are 9-2, and there's a 9-3 guy right behind them. We played the Bills earlier, but if I lose to them, well, it's pretty big because if I beat him, now Browns are in sole possession of second place. So this is actually pretty big for playoff implications. In the grand scheme of things, it's always probably good to lose at least one game. Going undefeated, you don't want to get upset in the playoffs and just end an undefeated season. But we're going to try to win anyway, man. We're going to try to go undefeated. But let's look at the playoffs here because this is interesting because if you look at the top four teams here, two are in the same division, but then we have the Titans here at 7-4, Colts right behind them, 7-5. So this is T from T&J, and he's got somebody on his heels here. I mean, he got to pick it up a little bit. The Ravens are there as well. I believe they're the only. Oh, actually, the Browns are in their division too. So two guys from the same division here. So, man, I mean, this is a tight playoff race here, but let's just look at who we're going up against, man. This is a huge game for us. This is going to be a big test. We had a test a couple weeks ago versus the Bengals, and we had the Bills earlier in the season. That was a pretty tough game as well. They had speed all over the field, and I'm pretty sure the Dolphins have the same exact format of their roster. Speed at quarterback. Look at that right away. Marcus Mariota. This was actually his first pick. I was pretty surprised. He picked him in the first round. I think he had like the 9th pick in the draft or something like that. Picked him in the first round. This was his first pick, Marcus Mariota. Joe Mixon at running back, a pretty good rookie. That's a pretty good starting running back here. Looks like he's got some speed here. I don't know if he's going to try to use Corey Grant, but 96 speed right away. Dree Archer, 96 speed. So look, this is his strategy right now to use his speed. And let's look at receiver here. And like I said, using that speed, he's got John Ross at 98 speed right there. Malcolm Mitchell as well. Curtis Samuel, 95 speed. D.D. Westbrook, 93 speed. So he's got a bunch of rookies, bunch of people that can fly here. And, you know, hopefully we can just use our other ratings, zone coverage, man coverage, to offset that speed, because I know he's definitely going to be using a lot of crossing routes, maybe a lot of deep routes. He's definitely going to be using that speed because look at his tight end. Even he's got Ladarius Green at tight end, probably the fastest tight end in the game, I think. His backup tight end is even 86 speed. So I mean, he's trying to use that speed. Ronnie Stanley, James Carpenter, Spencer Long. He's got a pretty decent offensive line. Looks like the right side of his line is probably his weak spot. Max Garcia actually plays for the Broncos. He's having an okay season for the Broncos. Trent Brown as well. So we're going to be trying to expose that offensive line. Maybe we can take advantage there. Get some pressure on Marcus Mariota. Force him into some bad throws. You know he's going to be rolling out of the pocket a lot because usually when you have a fast quarterback, you're going to be trying to use a lot of rollouts, a lot of play action reads, things like that. So he's going to be trying to get out the pocket. There's no way he's going to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. So Jadeveon Clowney coming off of the edge at left end. Takaris McKinley off the other edge. Then he's got some pretty good defensive tackles here. Brandon Williams, Roy Miller the third. Derek Rivers, look at his speed. I mean, 85. Everybody's got speed. 89, Deion Buchanan. He's pretty good with Deion Buchanan. I remember playing him last year. He's pretty good at using with him. Daryl Washington as well. I mean, he's got speed all over the field. Telvin Smith. And then his corners. I mean, his corners have speed as well, but they don't have high overall. So maybe we can take advantage of some of these matchups here. But we got to watch out for his user over the middle. He's going to be using Deion Buchanan a lot. And, I mean, his cornerbacks are okay. So we can try to do some things here. His safeties are okay. He's got TJ Ward, my boy, over the top. So, man, this is going to be an interesting matchup. He's got speed all over the field. And look at this. I mean, he's definitely traded his draft picks to probably get some speed. And that's going to be his niche here. I mean, he's going to be trying to use that crossing routes, those deep patterns, those deep posts, just to get away from the corners here and man coverage. So, man, I'm excited for this game. This is going to be a huge game. But let's just get into this gameplay, man. No more talking. Let's go. So this is going to be an epic matchup, man. He's got Joe Mixon, a young rookie running back, getting the ball to start the game. And that's a gain of 12 right away. So here on another 1st and 10 on the next play, Marcus Mariota dropping back to pass, throwing into coverage, and this time it's Chris Harris Jr. And that's the thing, man. Ever since we've traded big plays Slay, Chris Harris Jr. hasn't had a big interception game, but this time he gets the pick in a cover 6 there. I kind of fooled it, disguised it, made it look like a cover 3. So here on a 3rd and 2, trying to get out the middle with D'Angelo Henderson, he times it pretty well there. So holds me to just a field goal. And on 3rd and 8, he gets the ball back here on the next drive. Marcus Mariota rolling out to the right. All day to throw. And who is that but Chris Harris Jr. once again on the next drive. Back-to-back picks. So here on a 1st and 10, Trevor Siemian, too many options on that play. Wide open over the field. Gerald Everett for a good 15-yard gain. So on a 2nd and 10, Trevor Siemian has a clean pocket here. All day to throw. He finds his man once again, Gerald Everett, over the middle. And we're now into the red zone and close to the goal line. On a 3rd and goal, finding Isaiah McKenzie. What a difference he has been, man. I had to get used to him in the slot. He is a smaller guy, but he can run routes. He can catch the ball. He can do it all, man, even though he's 5'7". And here Lorenzo Doss getting the bat there. I got to show this defense, man, because I was playing pretty good lockdown defense on him. Marcus Mariota, look at that. To start the game, 0 for 5 with 2 picks. So here on a 3rd and 10, he's rolling out left, has all day to throw, finds his receiver, and this is the thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to make him sit back and throw the ball in the pocket because I don't know what it is about Madden, but if you have a scrambling quarterback, they just don't make accurate throws like a pocket passer would, especially when just sitting in the pocket. On the run, they make throws just fine, but if you have a scrambling quarterback, just know they're going to be a little inaccurate. So here on a 1st and 10 into the red zone here, he's finding his guy out in the flat, John Ross, on the out route. And on the next play, Joe Mixon barrels into the end zone for the touchdown. So now we do have a 3-point lead. But remember, we get ball at half, so we're actually in a good position here. But we do take the sack here. That was a good cover sack, good blitz off the edge. And on the 3rd and 15, trying to force it to Demaryius Thomas. I tried a possession catch that one. I probably could have aggressive caught that one, and it could have been caught. But I throw the pick. He takes advantage, and so he takes over at the 50-yard line just about. And Joey Bosa, he's finally starting to show up for me, man. And on the game, man, he got his 10-sack milestone on the season. But look at this, man. Get a sack, and we give up a long 2nd and 22. And here on a 3rd and 5, finding his guy over the middle there. And he's going into the end zone just about. And on the next play, Mixon runs it in. So we're in trouble here. But remember, we get ball at half. We have to be smart here not to turn the ball over. So we give the ball to Isaiah Crowe. Didn't notice that was Demaryius Thomas hemming up his corner on the outside. Could have probably broke that one to the outside. But on the next play, run it back again. And Isaiah Crowell with a good gain there. 4 rushes for 32 yards early in this game. So on a 3rd and 8 here, he's sending a blitz, finding Isaiah McKenzie. And look at that. He runs over the safety or corner on that play. Let's take another look at that. 5'7" Isaiah McKenzie. Boom! Running him over, getting into the end zone. Man, I have never seen that before. And we take the lead here, a 3-point lead here, late in his 2nd quarter. So he takes over, going deep in Mariota. Like I said, there that is. Sometimes these guys are inaccurate. He overthrows his guy there. Give me that. And on the next play, look at this pick. It gets juggled around, and Chris Harris Jr. catches it on his back. Let's take another look. Look, he's on his back. and he catches the ball. So we get the ball right back in the red zone just about on the 32-yard line, giving the ball to Isaiah Crowell, and he's finding a running lane, making it into the red zone here. So now we're at our 20. We have to play it smart here. Try to use some clock, but try to get the first down here. So we find D'Angelo Henderson in the flat here, and I don't want to take any risks, so I don't do much there. I kick the field goal, 6-point lead going into half, and remember, I get ball at half, so we take over here, giving the ball to Isaiah Crowell, and look at his whole defensive line gets pancaked, and here we take over on a 2nd and 10, dropping back to pass. Trevor Siemian finding D'Angelo Henderson once again out of the backfield. And D'Angelo Henderson is really good in the passing game, man. He's really embracing that role, taking over for Isaiah Crowell, especially when he gets tired. And he's been a really good spell back. And there, Isaiah McKenzie getting another catch there. But here, on the next, a couple plays later, we forced the ball there to Isaiah McKenzie on a 3rd and 11. Probably could have waited a little longer. I had some protection to pick up that blitz, but I end up throwing it to Isaiah McKenzie, trying to force it. So here he gets the ball back on 3rd and 2, finds John Ross. And from that point on, at this point, I was like, let me take John Ross out the game. And look what I do. Right away, I spotlight him, and Chidobe Awuzie comes up with the pick. So we take over here with the 20-14 lead. We do have to drive the length of the field, and Demaryius Thomas going deep on the first play. I noticed that he was looking to blitz on that one, and I noticed that his cornerback wasn't in position, so I go deep on that one, finding Demaryius Thomas over the middle. So we do have to go for 2, and that time we throw a pick. So we have the 12-point lead here. At least it's a 2-score lead, but here he is finding his guy over the seam, and I was letting him throw that pass because Chris Harris, man, he has pretty good reaction there. I was hoping that he was going to get over for the pick, but he leads him to the left, so he gets out of that. So giving the ball to Joe Mixon, but on a 2nd and 4, oh my goodness, I saw that the whole way, but for some reason, Alexander didn't get his hands out there to pick that ball off, but I was there in position. So on a 2nd and 9, he's rolling out to the right, and that time Danny Shelton getting in for the sacks on a 3rd and 17. We're not going to give up another big play like we did earlier. So he has all day to throw, but our guy is chasing him. He throws the ball deep, and we break up the pass there on a 3rd and 17. So now he's on a 4th and 17, looking for some pass rush, looking for a coverage sack here. And Shane Ray comes off the edge, gets in for the sack. And this is exactly what I was talking about in my last episode. Shane Ray and Joey Bosa getting in, getting pressure, man. This was tough, though. I had to keep Mariota in the pocket all game. That's when I had my best defense. When I made him throw from the pocket, I knew he would try to use his legs. Anytime you see somebody with a fast quarterback, you know they're going to try to use their legs. That's why I try to make myself use a pocket passer like Trevor Siemian, because it doesn't get me in the habit to wanting to bail myself out and getting into sacks, trying to run the ball. But here on a 3rd and 5 in the red zone, getting the ball out of there, I actually had Isaiah McKenzie wide open in the end zone on that one, but I do extend the lead. So now he's got to score 2 touchdowns and go for 2 on one of them. But here, Shane Ray is getting in for the sack. And at this point, man, he's just trying to put some points on the board, rolling out with Marcus Mariota, getting hit there. I was surprised he didn't fumble, but on a 4th down here, going for it, he has no choice because he's down by 2 scores, but he does find his guy over the middle, hanging onto it in double coverage. That was a good catch by his receiver there. So on a 1st and 10 here, finding his guy up the seam once again, but he has 1 play left, and it's not going to matter here. But Chidobe Awuzie with a good defensive play here. So we stay undefeated, and this was definitely our best opponent as far as record-wise going up against, and we beat them by 2 scores. The 4 takeaways to the 2 takeaways that I gave away really made the difference here. We lead the game in rushing. He leads the game in passing by about 14 yards. We play a really good defensive game, man. Trevor Siemian, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Isaiah Crowell with a quiet 73 yards, man. He had some big runs. D'Angelo Henderson had that big third down run late in the game. Isaiah McKenzie from the slot scoring 2 touchdowns, running over a defender. That was the highlight of the game. And on defense, man, Shane Ray with 2 sacks. Been waiting for that, man, all season, man. But hit subscribe, hit that like button, man. I'm telling you, man, this was the game I was looking forward to all season, and we get it done.